Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. It is December the 4th. December, Mckenna.
Good
December.
evening. We have lapped up and it's a whole year. We are right at the end. We are tick-tocking away. Good evening. It's good to be here. Happy Wednesday. And let's gripe it up. Let's gripe it up. What you got,
Oh
Tonia?
my goodness. We got a lot to talk about. MG is not here tonight. But it's gonna be girls talk tonight. Girls talk. But McKenna, I got a gripe.
What's your
A
gripe?
gripe. So my gripe is, why is it when you decide that being good doesn't always work out? So when you put on your bad girl shoes, they gotta say a lot. What I mean by that, I'm talking about Biden pardoning his son. Why everybody so mad? That's
I
his
mean,
son.
listen. I saw that headline and I said, people are going to have a problem with this, and this is going to be a problem for the Democratic Party in the future. Um, but if you ask a parent a question like, if you had the opportunity to prevent your child from going to jail or prison, would you take advantage of that opportunity? And most parents can give you clear examples of where they stepped in and shielded their child or grandchild from consequences of their behavior. And that's really what's happening here. This is a parent that's stepping in to shield their child from consequences of whether he's guilty, because I'm not sure if I don't think the verdict, I don't think the sentence came out yet. Um, and that's what we're talking about. Is it right? Is it wrong? He has the authority to do it. And he's pardoned other people, and other people have been pardoned in the past. So here we are with the gripe. And it's stirring up a lot of conversations on both sides. Um, so, what do you think about it? Do you think he should have done it? Do you think he should have waited? What do you think? Do you think he should have waited until after the sentence? Do you think he should have just left it alone? What's there? What's
I my girlfriend and I, but she said it better. What took him so long? And I agree. He did need to pardon his son. So let me explain. And my girlfriend, she's older than I, and she's more, she's seen some of the stuff that I didn't see. However, she did make a statement. She says, that's his son. But not only that, if it was her and I, we would have not even have to go through all of that, what he went through. Okay. So again, honestly, they pushed that agenda, the Republicans, they really did. Um, and I'm not saying that he should not, you do the crime, you do the time. But they really pushed the agenda. They tried to get him on more stuff. They couldn't. The incoming president is calling Biden the Biden crime family. That's what he's calling Biden. He is calling his family, a crime family, which we all know that's not so. However, if we look back on his thing, they more a crime family than the Bidens. Okay, let's put that aside now. I believe he wanted to please America and not pardon his son. But because of the incoming president, I honestly believe he needed to. Number one, the judge, we know that's Trump appointed judges. We know that they probably would have gave him the maximum sentence. And with this incoming president going in, he would have had to do every hour, minute, days, years of that sentence. So I am happy that he pardoned his son. I'm just waiting for him to do amnesty. for the dreamers,
Hmm.
for the law-abiding illegal immigrants that is here in the country. I'm not talking about the ones who were committing crimes. I'm talking about the lawful ones who came to America to get a chance at a better life, to raise their family. The American dream, what the Statue of Liberty stands for. I hope he does amnesty.
So the other comment that I read about this is it's not so much that he pardoned his son, it's that there was a time when he spoke out and said he wouldn't do it. And it's almost like backpedaling on something that you said out loud. So, um, you know, everything is recorded and everything is micromanaged. And I think that sometimes people in leadership have to be mindful of their words and be careful of what you say, because he did make that statement some months back that he wouldn't pardon his son. And I believe that came from a space where he didn't really think that it would get this far, where he would have to actually make that decision. Um, and he put the, what did they say, the cart before the horse, so to speak, in that statement. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be something that he's going to be remembered by, pardoning his son. And when we talk about um, what's the term, nepotism, favoritism and nepotism, this is going to be up there on somebody's civics class or somebody's legal class when they're in law school, and somebody will have to write a paper defending it or condemning it. And so it'll be interesting to see like what students, I wish I knew some students who are currently in law school or who are currently studying political science, who will get to have like these robust conversations based on things that they're learning, in the media and from their courses and their textbooks and their professors. So interesting decision. I get both sides of it. And I hate that that's going to be one of the last things that he's remembered by, and another talking point of the incoming administration. But speaking of the incoming administration, I feel like he's still struggling to get his cabinet put together. Um, so we will see all of these people in this list. I looked at the list the other day, but I haven't gone through everybody's qualifications. But I did read some excerpts about some people have stepped down, some people are criticizing some of his not appointees. So it'll be interesting to see how many get confirmed and how many more people back out before that date time.
I mean, well, honestly, he pretty much is going to the rich people clubhouse. He's going to the golf. He's having these conversations on a golf course. He's having these conversations at the, what you call it, his spot in Florida.
Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. So he's getting these people, everyone that he is picking to be in his cabinet has no kind of political roles, education roles. For the person who's going to be over the army, you've never been in the military before. How you running? How you gonna run the military? You're muted.
And how do enlisted people feel about that? Like your commander and your boss, the boss of the bosses, has no prior experience doing the job. And I get some people say, oh, you don't have to have experience to do a job, but when you have experience, it gives you understanding about the process, the policies, the politics, the safety, the threats, the harms, the needs. And you can have empathy for the people who are on the front line, who are at middle management. You can have a perspective about what type of decisions need to be made and a framework to make these decisions. So experience, I mean, any other job out here in these streets, especially the Black jobs. Black jobs, most people have to be overqualified. But that's a whole nother conversation.
I mean, again, that's why it's great, because we get to talk about certain things. Didn't want to do too much of the political, but this is something that had to be talked about, because I think Biden, if Kamala won, I don't feel that he would have pardoned his son. And like I said, I think it is all based on the incoming president, which regardless of who would have been the incoming president, he needed to pardon his son because they all do it. And not only because they all do, that's your son. He learned, he's turned his life over. He's trying to stay clean. And I don't blame him. When you look at it from the political side, yes, some would say he shouldn't have never said anything. And I think he wanted to stay true to it, but it's okay. And we all do that. Sometimes, we'll say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. And sometimes we end up doing it. Depends on the circumstance. So again, like you said, he should have just not said anything. It wouldn't have been a big talk. However, from a parent side, I know that he would have suffered. He wouldn't have gotten any kind of nothing. Again, so me personally, I'm happy about it, and I just hope this president, because he's going to go down in history now. One-term president, that's one, and almost the oldest at the time when he was president, and now he pardoned his son. Hey, now he just needs to do the other stuff now too. Like I said, the amnesty. So keep praying for it, crossing the fingers, because I believe that people who have been here for all their lives, especially the dreamers, and I believe that they should be given a chance without being deported to a country that they left when they was a baby.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yep.
So
how was your holiday, real quick? How was your turkey day?
You see my fat face? It was good. It was just great to be around family. It was wonderful. How about yours?
Same here. It was good to be around family. As I mentioned before, my grandmother, she is 98 on my dad's side, so it was just good to see her smiling face and be in her presence and watch her enjoy, everybody that was able to make it. So a good time was had by all, and I enjoyed myself.
Awesome.
I had safe travels there and back with no issues, and that's always a bonus.
But hey, guess what? We got to let our folks know that we actually went to our day out.
We did. So Tonia of Let's Gripe, she organized an outing. So me, MG, and her in our group chat, we made a decision as to where we were going to go. And there was a little turn up that happened. We went to brunch like people do here in the ATL. Brunch had music. Brunch had, people to look at who were dancing and celebrating different things. Brunch had a host and a DJ. Brunch had good food. Brunch had a good time by all. We had it was long overdue, and we had a great time.
I loved it. I definitely loved our chemistry is really good with each other. And we really have a good time here on live, and we also have a good time in person. And I definitely enjoyed you guys' company. I'm like sitting here like, where we gonna hook up next? When? Should we go after the holiday or before the holiday? So it's kind of one of those things. And that's always saying a lot of times we do put off a lot of things because of our schedule, but really and truly, we do have to take time out for the people that we love, especially for the people we don't get to see every day. Definitely take time out. I do want to send condolences to my friend. She lost one of her best friend from, I guess, maybe childhood, teenager years. I can't imagine losing one of my best friends. So definitely sending my condolences out to her tonight. And for anyone that is going through a loss of losing a family member, friends, our condolences to you guys. Because I know, a lot of times, I think I was online yesterday and I was going to order some stuff. And I started to think, and I'm like, I'm getting older. And I'm like, these things are not important like it was 10 years ago. And I'm like, because, Mckenna, I like my stuff. And I was online and I was like, no.
And I know you had a coupon somewhere.
You know that because I'm
I
not
know.
buying it full price. You know, I'm not buying it full price, but it was just so amazing because I was sitting there and I was like, these are not important like years ago it was to me. Oh, I need to get this or whatever. It just made me stop and just thank God for another day. And when I wake up in the morning and when I finish working, I always say, "Thank you, God. Thank you for another year. Thank you for another minute, hour, seconds." I always give Him that thanks because it didn't have to be. So I'm definitely grateful for that. Hey, Madonna. So again, just even if it's just to spend a couple of hours with your friends, your family, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go get
And
something to drink.
it's a good point. One of my friends, she reached out to me. Well, some people will send you the Happy Thanksgiving text messages, and we had messaged earlier in the year, and she came to Atlanta, and I missed her when she was here. And she reached out. She was like, "Hey, we never did get together. It's about to be the end of the year." And I was like, "You know what? Thanks for the reminder." So I'm going to try to go visit her before the end of the year so we can just do what we did, which is just fellowship. We talk about this sporadically throughout Let's Gripe about the importance of checking on your strong friends, the importance of checking on people that are in your immediate circle, and some of those who are a little bit on the outside circle. Um, it just makes life a more pleasant place to experience when people randomly reach out to you. When you get that message for somebody you haven't heard from, it just puts a smile on your face like, oh, hey, like, oops, I hadn't thought about you, but hey, I'm glad you thought about me. How are you? All is well. So these are just reminders we send out, at the end of the year. And to your point about thanks and gratitude, it is important to just give thanks, to be grateful for not just life, health, and strength, but the faculty of your mind to be able to make good decisions, to be able to enjoy life, to be able to have family and friends, because there's always somebody that would love to trade places. From the outside looking in, people will be like, "Oh, Tonya, you have such a nice life, and you do what you want to do, and you're confident, and you speak well, and you just dress nice, and you just enjoy life." So there's always somebody that would want to trade places with us. And so even though there are people we would like to trade places with, we do have to express that gratitude. Hey, Miss Butterfly, about where we are. Um, oh, one thing before we move on is I had a chance to go see Gladiator with Uncle Denzel, and
Ooh,
I hadn't been in a movie theater since I can remember. It's been a minute since I've actually been in a movie theater, but we tend to try to do a activity on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So in the past, we've done things like bowling, we've done things like go to the gun range, we've done things like have a fish fry. So every year we try to do, just a group activity before a lot of people get back on the road Saturday. And so we decided to go see the movie. So I will say going to the movies is a different experience. There was no like ticket counter where you purchase your ticket. You just go to the kiosk machine, and you push the little button, swipe your card. Or of course, everybody has an app. You can go to the AMC app and do it online. So that was one thing that I noticed that was different. There was wherever that counter was, they had blocked it off so you couldn't even see it. They built a wall there. But what was the same is the smell of that popcorn. There's something about the smell of movie theater popcorn or the popcorn that they make. It just it makes me want to buy it. So I had to have some popcorn, and so me and my dad shared a bucket, and of course we were like, okay, we got to go get our refill now. So hey, Kim and Denzel, yes, yes, Denzel was Denzelin. I won't spoil the movie, but if you watch the first Gladiator, or even if you didn't watch the first Gladiator, this movie was, it had enough background where you could pick up and know what's going on. And he's still doing the darn thing at 70. So,
really?
yeah,
I was wondering how old he is. 70?
70,
Oh, he looks so good.
70. He's
He
still
looks
doing
so
the darn
good.
thing. And so, in some interviews, he said that he wants to do about 2 or 3 more movies and go back to Broadway for a little bit and then just kind of retire. And we're like, retire? But then, if we think about it, Denzel has been acting in movies our entire adult life. Like our entire adult life, he's been acting. Um, so one of my aunts was like, we need to watch another Denzel movie. So we picked a random Denzel movie and watched it on Netflix or Prime. I can't remember which one. So we watched
Okay.
Flight. She hadn't seen that one. So, but when you look at his filmography, I mean, he's got so many films. It's like you really could spend a whole weekend watching old Denzel movies because he's got a whole catalog of them.
He got a catalog. And what I love about him is just he's just so humble. He's a very humble man, and that's what I love so much about him. I saw one day they had the movie premiere, and they were interviewing him on the red carpet, and he said something, and I love the story that he shared about he and his wife, their first date. He said they went on a date, and he left his wallet home, and she paid for dinner. And she just said it. She's like, and I paid for dinner, and he's like, and he's been paying ever since.
Right,
Right.
right, right.
And even and you think about it, and I was like, that's probably one of the things that even made he even think about marrying her.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been married for so long, is one of the things that she could have been like, what you mean you don't have your wallet? I'm gonna pay for the food, because no
Mm-hmm.
one wants to go to jail,
Right.
and but don't call me again. And that's something that I want to touch on. How many of us would do that today? If you go out on a date with a man right now, a young man or older man, Mckenna, and he says he forgot his wallet.
So I will say that today is not yesterday. And what I mean by that is 40 years ago, they didn't have Zelle and Cash App and Apple Pay and PayPal and Chime and whatever else I missed. And so it would be easy for somebody to forget their debit card because it could be in the back pocket of something. But today that young man would say, "Ooh, I forgot my wallet. Can I Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, PayPal you this money?" That's what the expectation would be in that moment. And of course, it would be like, no problem. By the time he sends it over, it's all good. So I think it would look a little bit different now if that person literally did not have the ability to pay in that moment. Of course, I'm going to not go to jail because it's not. It's I mean, if Biden doesn't go, I mean, if Biden's son doesn't go to jail, I mean, I feel like you know, I'm not going to go to jail. And then, because I believe in having a good time in the moment, I'm not going to let that take away from me having a good time. Because my philosophy is if I leave my house and agree to go somewhere, I'm going to have a good time. So I'm going to enjoy my time and let that person enjoy their time and let it go. I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to gripe about it. I'm not going to chase them down for, this money that I've spent. I'm just going to let it go. Like, maybe they needed to have a good time. Maybe something truly happened and they were embarrassed to say, I'm going to let it go. And hopefully the person, usually we meet people who have integrity. Hopefully that person will have enough integrity to come back and say, "McKenna, in that moment, I'm sorry. This is what happened." I'll be like, "Hey, say less. Let's make it right and we can move forward." But we have to explain. And maybe I just feel generous because it's that season. I've made it this far through the year. If I happen to go on a date, whatever I'm spending, it's not going to cause me to not be able to make it to 2025. And I'm just going to say, you know what? I wouldn't have preferred you do it this way, but we had a good time. Side hug, like with shoulder, side hug, and good night. Good night and God bless.
Good evening, Nakaya. She just had her baby a few months
Oh, that's
ago, so
right.
congratulations again. I want to be honest. Prior to hearing the interview, the story that Denzel told, I probably would have been, "What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna pay for this, but I wouldn't want to go out with the person again because I would say he's playing games. He did it on purpose." But hearing Denzel talk, it allowed me to understand and have some what is that? Humility.
Okay.
To be understanding that it is a possibility that it wasn't intentional. Before that, I would have thought, oh, he trying to play games. So and it just made me open my eyes, because what if his wife had behaved the same way? Like, oh, so you left your wallet home? Okay. All right, I got this, but don't call me again. Here it is. She's married to a trillionaire.
And he's still handsome at 70.
And handsome at 70. And look like he's still got it going on at 70. So just think about the blessing that, her soulmate. They can definitely be soulmates. And that attitude as far as someone trying to get over could have definitely hindered that. So what it did for me, it softened me up. Now, I ain't stupid now.
That's what you just said, that part right there. Like, that part right there. Because it's clear, it could easily be a one and done. I just don't have to be mad in the moment. I can be mad when I get home. You know how I feel about it. I feel like being mad can be delayed. I don't have to be mad right now. I'm a firm believer in enjoying myself in the moment. And if I want to be mad tomorrow or next week, I reserve the right. But today, I'm having a good time. You need
exactly. Exactly.
But you're right. I'm not here to be the fool. We did that already. We made mistakes. We made poor judgments. We let people get over. We didn't speak our mind, and we did that already. No.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, so it's like, no, I'm not gonna be stupid. I'm gonna watch you, because if you have any, if you have humility as well, or if you are a stand-up guy, you are going to attempt to reimburse me.
Right. I told this story. So this story, I don't know if I told it on Let's Gripe, but I was telling it too. So on my way to the airport, one of my younger cousins, she was driving me back to the airport. And she's in her 20s. So she was sharing, her stories about dating, and I was over there smiling and grinning because I'm like, oh, we 20 to date up in the 20s. Oh, we. But I had a friend that we were friends, we were friends. And this was some years ago. I'm talking about 10 plus years ago. And we went out to eat, and the bill came, and he went to the restroom. So when the bill came, I just paid the bill. It was, like we've gone out before, he's paid. I feel like it would just be like if me and you went out and it was my turn to pay, I just grabbed it and paid it. It wasn't even any thought. So when he came back, we were talking. He was like, "Where's the lady with the bill?" I said, "Oh, I already paid it." When I say he was mad, upset that I paid the bill, he was like, "Did you think that I went to the restroom because I didn't have any money?" I was like, "No, she just brought the bill, and I didn't." This person was very mad. He was so upset that when we left the restaurant, he purposely drove somewhere else and made us have another drink and like a dessert or an appetizer because he felt like I was punking him in some kind of way. So it's very interesting how you have the extremes. You have those people who literally try to get over, and then you have those men who were like, don't try to demasculate me or emasculate me. And that wasn't the intent. So, I think that it's good to kind of understand people's character. When you're, and that's one of and we talked about that before, it's the purpose of dating or getting to know people or spending time with people, because you get to understand their character. And you can feel somebody's character who is trying to get over. And those people you just kind of limit your time with, because that's just kind of who they are. They're always trying to get over on people or out hustle you. And then you have those people that are just, maybe they made a mistake, or, maybe, like you said, they didn't have it in the moment, but they weren't trying to get over. So we just have to be cautious, but be mindful, but be gracious. And everything will balance itself out.
Yes, and I am a work in progress. I am learning to not, because especially as women, we know there are men out there that try to use you for money or the other stuff. So it's kind of like we'll always have our guard up. And like I said, you can still do things and show your kindness, but not be a fool. Like if a man said,
Mm-hmm.
I'll Zelle, I don't have Zelle. I would never believe a man or anyone that said they don't have a Zelle, because that's not an app. So if that's not an app, so if you don't have Zelle, then that means that you got bad credit, or you owe the financial institute money. You cannot open up a checking account that has Zelle. Yes, and we don't need to talk. We don't. Okay? Yeah. So at this point, I'm not even talking about the other apps for real. Cash App, Venmo. I'm not talking about those other, because I don't have Venmo. I have Cash App, but I don't have the other one. I don't have Apple Pay. I get it. But Zelle, if you ain't got Zelle, you got bad credit. You done owe the bank some money. You can never open up a bank account again. You might have what? Chime? Nah, we can't have no conversation. Mm-mm. Nah. Mm-mm. Those are key things that we need to look for.
All right. Have a good day, sir. It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you. Yes.
You're not, and I understand that, life is life. And so I hope that, things work out for you. That's all. I got a positive word. That's all I got for you. Have a good day. Side hug. Exactly. With the shoulder.
I was talking to my niece, and she was saying, as far as what she's looking for in a man. And she was like, he should be able to co-sign for me. So I had to back up a minute. I said, okay, let me school you on something, baby. I'm gonna need you to knock that out your head, because that's foolishry. Because that man who could co-sign for you, he looking for somebody who could co-sign for him too. Okay? We can't be lopsided. You can't be at the grocery store and you looking for a doctor. Because that doctor probably looking for a nurse. Maybe a paralegal, but I'm just saying we gotta play right. We gotta play fair. So I said to her, no, we don't look for anyone to do that for us, because put yourself in a position you don't need anyone to co-sign for you. That's a position that you put yourself in. Mm-hmm. And the man that you find, he should also don't need anyone to co-sign for him.
What was the man's name who he passed away, but he used to have like a podcast. A woman would come on his podcast, and he would say, "You want a high value man? Well, are you a high value?" What was that man's name?
I know who you're talking about. Yes, I remember, because when I finally found out about him and all how he used to go hard on women, and then he passed. I definitely remember who you're talking about. That name probably come back. Anyone in the chat, if you remember who that young man, that middle-aged man is, put in the chat. But yeah, we got to be fair. How about
Kevin Samuels? That's his name.
Samuels, yes.
Yes. And I mean, he used to nail it, though. I mean, I didn't really listen to him before he passed away, but some of his threads would come up after he passed away. And even though his delivery was a little off-putting, most of the time his message made sense. Like you said, if you are a cashier and you're looking for an NBA player, you might be looking too far out of your range. Maybe you should scale it back a little bit and find you, a good Amazon truck driver who, or UPS driver, or, not bashing any career, but equally yoked, you're going to meet people in the circle that you're in. And if you want to expand your circle, then you have to upgrade yourself. It's really the message that he had. And he used to get on women about being overweight, talking about, how much do you weigh? I was like, good grief. How tall are you?
Like, you don't ask us that.
How old are you? How many kids do you have? What's your highest level of education? I mean, my good grief. So.
But if you think about it, we need that, because like you said, sometimes our expectation is so high, but you have to think about what that other person's expectation is as well. Mm-hmm. You think about it. I mean, if this is your expectation, that man that meets all of this, good credit, good job, got money in the bank, got a nice house, what you think he looking for?
6 foot, brown skin. What's he looking for?
What do you think he's looking for? You think he's looking for someone that probably, like I said, not even working, do babysit. You know what I'm saying? Getting money from the system. You think he
Do
looking
hair
for
from the house. Do hair from the house only. No
that?
other income.
Because you could do hair, but you got to have your salon. It don't even have to be in Buckhead. It could be right there, Old National.
Correct.
But you have your own salon. So I that's what I've been telling my nieces, the younger ones. I'm always telling them, listen, you're looking for this. Guess what? You got to get up there too. You got to get up there too. Because again, if you looking for this, what you think he's looking for? He's not looking for the opposite. So again, we got to be on one accord. She says, I know my worth. And I brought this up to say, I said, okay, we all know our worth. We should all know our worth. I said, but then think about it. I said, if you think you're worth trillions, the next person don't think you're worth trillions. So we as women need to stop walking around and saying that we know our worth. We know what we deserve. We know what we desire. We know what we want. Let's put it out there. Because again, you have to show somebody your worth because they're not going to see it just off top. Somebody seeing you, Mckenna, seeing me, they can't tell you what my worth is. Because I might be twerking, They might
winding, or you might be winding.
Right, winding the waist. I might be doing that. And this person might see me and think, oh, I'm a club person. She probably ain't about nothing, but don't know that I can sit around a table with some leaders.
There you go.
Or, when I put my suit on to go to a closing, or, when, I pull up at a dealer, you know what I'm saying? They don't need nothing from me, just my ID to write that tag on my car. So again, no one can instantly see your work. So I told her, I said, nah, we're going to drop that. Set your expectation on you first, because that person who's looking for that expectation, they'll know you when they find you.
And I think that that's a good conversation to have with our young cousins and our nieces. The other part is, in addition to the financial part, you're meeting somebody where they are, or vice versa. You also want somebody who can meet your emotional needs, who can communicate, who can be consistent, who can make a plan and follow it, who can apologize when wrong, who can be in tune when you need space versus when you need a hug, who will take out the trash or, make you some eggs and toast, depending on the situation. Like, there are other things other than him having a car or him being able to co-sign for you to have a house or a car that are actually going to assist with the longevity of the experience, and that's part of the high value that sometimes we miss, because I don't know if it's the media, I don't know if it's social media, I don't know if it's the music, but we miss that connection piece, the day-to-day piece. Like, when you wake up in the morning, do you actually like the person that's laying next to you? Are you excited? Do you actually like them, or are you like, well, why are they still here? Do you actually like that person, the way they move, the way they walk in the house? Like, we've all been attracted to different things, but just the simple fact that that person walked in the house and you just stopped and smiled. They didn't do anything. They didn't necessarily have on matching clothes, or maybe they did. It wasn't even about their appearance. It was just the fact that that person walked in the house, and something about that person walking in the house, it did something for you.
Put that smile on the face when you see them. You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, what's up? How you doing? So that connection, and that's the human, that's the intimate part that I think there are people that haven't experienced it. People have been in the superficial so long that they haven't connected to that piece. They're attracted to the whatever. We're gonna say eyelashes and baby hair.
Not the eyelashes and baby hair. Can't look, that's gonna be the next gripe for me next week. Can't we stop with the baby hair?
In 2025.
Oh my goodness, baby hair all the way down to the eyebrow. I'm
here to the right down here to the glasses.
I'm done with it. I told my niece, she's 13. I said to her, I said, I know you got good hair, but I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to put the hair back where it needs to go.
Brush it back.
She gonna tell me that I'm jealous because she got edges.
What? No, ma'am. This is not jealous. That's not what this is.
I said, nah, I got baby hair for real, but you don't see me pacing it down. I said, so that's the next gripe, though. Seriously, again, continue, my friend.
Listen, I mean, and then if you ask the men, do the men folk like the baby hair?
I've seen some men on social media. They are so not with it. They're like, what's up? I mean, but guess what? They are so over this BBL too.
Oh yeah.
They are so over it. They're like, and I heard one person says like, you know what? And you touch it, it just feels fake.
Oh,
and
wow.
The person did this to mine and was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. The real stuff. I said, ooh, do it again.
Right?
Yeah, they was like, oh no, it feels fake. There's nothing sexy about it. The ladies are doing it because, of course, when it stands up and they got on a certain dress or outfit, they don't have to wear a bra. But at the end of the day, I just would love to see, like Kris Jenner, I would just love to see her top naked. Because the arms and the everything else is wrinkled. I just would like to see someone that is up there in age that has the boobs to really see how it looks when they don't have any clothes on.
I believe they probably have Botox all over their body. Like those types of, like at that Kris Jenner level, they probably are constantly going to the place that does the little, like a you know, that I forgot what you call it, but yes, that procedure where they do the skin all over your body.
Like that's that money that that money we only see what they talk about. We just hear they talk about. That's the money those are the digits that we don't even
They have a standing appointment every month to go in and have that laser procedure that's done to tighten their skin all over their. It's like it's just what they do.
I didn't think about that part, but did you notice that Madonna has done her body now?
Oh, has she?
Yes, got a BBL, got a booty and everything now.
Oh, and Madonna has to be close to 70 also.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, and I think her boyfriend is.
He's a younger, whoever he is.
He's a younger guy. It's really amazing me. I'm getting older every day, and I love the fact that I am living to see another year. I don't know. Maybe if I had money, I don't know what I would have done if I had money. No, I would get some Ozempic. That's probably one of the things that I would invest in. But other than that, I don't know.
And I mean, we do say to each his own. It is a health issue for some people. And I think that we get concerned when people, by our standards, take it overboard. We remember the last surgery, the last post that we saw about Nene. We were like, who? She doesn't even look the same. And I think that plastic surgery or body augmentation it's as addictive as tattoos. People who have tattoos, they start with one and then they get another one. And before you know it, they might have 9 tattoos. And they're like, how did I get to 9? But I want one more. So that'll be 10. So, I mean, I guess moderation is the key. Loving yourself is important. But there's so much pressure to look a certain way.
Look a certain way, look young, stay young. Mm-hmm. But you can look young, but the body, the bones, the muscles, you can't do nothing with those. You really can't do anything. So I'm just saying, I can look beautiful and, the knees hurting when it's cold outside, you got the knee pain like I be having. I don't know. I guess each is own, and I guess when it comes to money, you pretty much you can do whatever you want when you want to do it. So if you really don't care, and I guess maybe because we're at a certain middle class level that we're like, I don't have to do that. But What if we had the money?
Yeah. I mean, what if we had the money and what if we wanted to stay young? You know, some people have the procedure because they don't want to age. They don't want to get old. They don't want to look old. Um, and I mean, I understand Madonna, she has a younger boyfriend. So, you know, older women who date younger men sometimes have these procedures because they want to stay aesthetically pleasing to the mates that we have. But some of us are okay with getting old and having gray hair and having a few wrinkles, and you know we embrace it differently. I think Haley Berry was talking about that recently about you know uh, menopause and great and aging gracefully, and how you know she still looks fabulous. At I think she's what 60, and she had that dress on that she wore like 20 years ago, a couple of weeks back, and
Yes.
we were like,
And
man, you still fine.
I think she looks better now than then. Cause you saw like the rib cage 20 years ago and you could just see all the bones popping out. But I think she looks better in that dress now than she did 20 years ago.
Like I was like, I see you, Haley Berry. I see you. I see you. You did that. You did
But
that.
what I love about it when, ladies like her that just being true, and I love it because she was like, especially in their industry, it's like that's a push for you to stay young, look young, to do all this stuff. And she was like, no, I am going to embrace it. And I think even for us everyday regular people, it sent a message to us like, yeah, instead of you trying to, if you had money, what you would have done, is embracing it.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I believe when you embrace your youth, your maturing, other people will be able to embrace it too.
Mm-hmm.
So I when I saw that interview, I was like, yes, there were many who needed to see that, because I'm in the place where I'm like, I'm not in that position to do any of those things. I won't do it. But you have to like me for me. Then if you don't, then you're not for me. Mm-hmm. I remember one time I was telling Andrew G, I was showing her, and I was saying to her, because I have keloid skin, and I was like, I said, you don't remember before I got it treated, it was on my face. And I'm like, you don't see it on my face. And this, I mean, the day she said it to me, it brought tears to my eyes, because when she sees me, she sees me. She didn't see any of that. I've mentioned it to a few people who were close to me when I started to share how unhappy I was with it. And I was like, even my girlfriend that I was just speaking about that lost her friend. And I was saying to her, yeah, the keloid that I have on my face, I want to get it. And they were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean what I'm talking about? It's right there.
Like, it's right here. Don't you see it right here?
And I'm like, yeah, on my face, and it's on the, and it, I'm sorry, I never saw it, and that's what made me realize, wow, the love, when these people see me, they don't see any of that. They didn't see my flaws until I start telling them about. And even my girlfriend, she's like, if you never said anything, I wouldn't have even noticed it. So that just shows how when someone loves you, they don't see all those other stuff. The stuff that we make bother us, that we want to fix. Mm-hmm. Well, I had to fix the keloid because it had to be gone. But it just showed me, it just made me appreciate my friends and my family for loving me for who I am. And my flaws that I saw, they didn't even realize that it was a flaw, and they didn't see me any other way. So that is one of the encouraging things that we would end the show on tonight, is that love who loves you and love yourself. Because if you can't love you, how do you expect another person to love you? So we have to stop putting all these extra weight on us. Oh, I should be size 5. Oh, if even complexion nowadays, I'm looking at some of these celebrities, and I'm like, wait, aren't they darker? And I'm like, wait a minute, their complexion changed. And I'm sitting, I'm like, nah, it wasn't the lighting of the music.
Was it the lights?
I was like, it wasn't the light, because no. And then I'm realizing, like, so you had an issue with your color as well? But here, let's give a round of applause for Kerry Washington getting her start.
Yes.
Yes.
I love Kerry.
I'm just saying.
Congratulations.
I mean, she was with the president. I mean, I'm just saying, what was the name of the movie again? Scandal. I mean, she deserved it. I was like, yes. And she didn't get it when she was too old to get down on her knees. So kudos to Kerry Washington on receiving her stars. And hopefully there's much more younger and talented actors and actresses that will be getting that. And also Beyonce. She hit the top of the...
Oh, she did, yes. Yes. 21 years of service, and she got the top pop artist of the year award. I love it for her. I love it. You know what I love it for? I love it for the Beehive, because she has some diehard, loyal fans that traveled from here to Europe to watch her in concert, who spent money to go see her overseas. So yes, congratulations.
I think she should retire now. I mean, there's what else can you do? You act, you sing. You went from R&B
to country. Yeah,
I think it's time for her to retire and pass the mic to Blue Ivy. I mean, because I think she's gonna be somewhere in this entertainment world. But guys, don't forget to tell a friend and a friend and a friend and a friend. Like and share the powerhouseradio.com. Also, don't forget, on Thursday we have Reasoning Thursday with Lady D and friends. That is 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss it. So they're going to be talking about this Biden pardon tomorrow and whatever else they can talk about. So you got to tune in. And of course, on Saturday, we got the Lady D show. That's 12 to 4. I'm telling you guys, here's the thing. You can actually pull it up on TuneIn on your Alexa, your Google, and you can listen while you're doing your housework on Saturday or when you're in the car. Come on, so listen, like, share, and subscribe, and tell people about this station, thepowerhouseradio.com. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a great weekend and be safe. And Mckenna, until next week.
We will see you next week, everybody, and drop us a message of what you want us to talk about next week. We will be taking topics, so you know how to reach us on Facebook. We'll be looking out to see what you want us to talk about. So until next week, everybody be safe, stay warm, and it's good to be here. Have a good evening, everybody. This is Mckenna saying good night.
Good night, everyone.
As a DJ fourth quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's Gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Radio play the same thing every day. So you need a little switch to your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype. But one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to one of those. Or you might be home for long gone. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's cry. 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 Do re mi fa sol la ti do re mi fa sol.